I want to get rid of that statement once and for all that the Avalanche is not a true truck. If you subscribe to that theory still to this day, in the later 2010s and up and into the 2020s, let me tell you, hey, welcome to GT Canada, the most confused channel on YouTube. Before I get started, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button down below and hit the bell so you can get notified of any new updates as we post those. Today, I want to talk to you about what I love about my Chevy Avalanche. Some of you have already seen my video knocking the Ford Flex as the worst car ever, and I still stand by that statement. And some people asked in the comments there how on earth I can say that the Avalanche is so much better than a Ford Flex. So I'm going to tell you about it. If I don't get in a car accident first, because everyone's driving like a moron today. They're all going to cause a car accident driving like idiots. Anyway, Chevy Avalanche. I want to back up all the way back to when the Chevy Avalanche launched in the early 2000s. At the time, there was a lot of hate for the Chevy Avalanche. And at the time, I subscribed to a lot of the hate that came about the Chevy Avalanche. The number one complaint that everybody made about the Avalanche was, it is not a real truck. And you're right, it's not really a real truck. So if you're not familiar with the Chevy Avalanche, I'll tell you real quickly, the Avalanche is a version of a Chevy Suburban or a Yukon XL. So the full-length, full-body family SUV. Now, you would also know that those trucks are a full body-on-frame design, so you can jack the body up, do body lifts, and do all those things. Everything you can do with a real truck. The difference is the Avalanche, because it came from a Suburban, they just took a full-size Suburban, chopped out the back of the Suburban from the middle row. So you open the door, you've got that middle row. They took from their back and opened it up and turned that into a bed, a truck bed. Now, what does that mean? Why does that make it not a true truck? Well, the Suburban and the Yukon, they have a torsion bar front end, just like all of the other trucks in that model lineup. But the back end is different. It uses coil springs for the suspension. Now I want you to go back to the early 2000s. Nobody was building a truck with coil springs. They all had a leaf spring. And everybody knows that to be a truck, you must have leaf springs. Obviously, because leaf springs are made to handle the heavy duty work that a truck needs to handle. And that, I think, is what kind of created this stigma that an Avalanche is not a truck, because the back springs are coil springs. The other thing that makes it truly different from any other truck, as far as trucks go, this does not have the cab and the box separate. Because it's based off of a Suburban where the back was just notched out, the whole body is all one piece. You can't remove the body and put a flat deck on or anything like that. So no, it's not a truck in that sense. Also, it's got that weird plasticky thing on the back. That weird plasticky thing, it is not just for looks. Although it looks kind of, you know, some people like it, some people don't. There's actually a giant metal bar reinforcement in there. And the reason they need that is because when you cut the back end off of a Suburban, the body wants to flex. So they needed to reinforce that, and that's where they did that with this giant metal bar. Nobody wants a giant metal bar, so they cladded it with some plastic to make it look kind of cool and give it that distinct styling. I want to get rid of that statement once and for all that the Avalanche is not a true truck. If you subscribe to that theory still to this day in the later 2010s and up and into the 2020s, let me tell you, Dodge, which makes real trucks, just ask any Dodge owner, they'll tell you that the Dodge is a real truck, A Ram is a real truck. They all now use coil springs. Why do they use coil springs on real trucks? Well, Chevy figured out a long time ago, when you want something to ride nicely, you use coil springs. When you want it to ride like crap, you use leaf springs. So Dodge wanted their trucks to ride better, so they started using coil springs. Well, how do they get the payload capacity? Well, they just throw airbags on it. Throw airbags on, that allows you to pump it up, get the capacity when you need it, get the comfortable time when you don't need capacity. Most truck owners nowadays don't actually need a truck for a truck. They need it to haul, a dresser or a bed home on the weekend. But the rest of the time, they just need to drive to work and back. And that's what I love about my Avalanche. So, number of key features that I really love about my Avalanche. Number one, it has a factory tonneau cover that is a hard tonneau cover. You can actually stand on top of it, jump up and down, and it is rock solid hard. It comes out in pieces, but it's fully waterproof. It actually creates a waterproof enclosure inside your box. The other thing I like, the side storage compartments. They have flip-up storage compartments where you can store all the stuff that you would normally have rattling around in the back of your truck. The bed is not full size anymore because it's a short bed, but when you flip the tailgate down, you can fit full 8-foot sheets of plywood, and they do not extend past the tailgate. This truck has a mid-gate, which is really quite awesome. So you can remove the back windshield completely, and with that removed, you can also drop the midgate down, which allows you to have fully enclosed with the tonneau cover and the tailgate closed up 8-foot storage area. But you can also drive with the window out, or you can leave the window in and still drop the midgate and have that whole space. So the versatility is quite good. Also, you've got really good tow capacity at around 8,000 pounds. The engine is the standard 5.3 liter that Chevy's been using for a long time in a lot of trucks. It's an LT, not an LS, but a lot of guys are getting some really decent performance mods out of an LT 5.3 liter engine. Inside, it has all of the same options you would expect in a Denali. You can get the Cadillac version of the Avalanche, which gives you even more features. Plus, the one thing that I like having a crew cab truck. And to get a crew cab is hard when you're searching for a used crew cab, because not everybody uses the term crew cab in their truck. They'll say four-door, but four-door can also have the Chevys that have those weird back suicide doors that aren't a true crew cab, and that's not what I'm looking for. Every single Avalanche is a four-door crew cab truck. So, right off the bat, if you're looking at an Avalanche, you know you're getting a crew cab. You know you're getting the more aggressive front end. You know you're getting a decent level of comfort inside. And you can get all of these things, all the appointments that you're used to in your luxury pickup truck that you're not afraid to take out hunting if you want. So the bottom line is, I love all these things about my Avalanche, and they're also reasonably priced. You can get into one for only a couple $1,000s. And because there's still that stigma that the Avalanche is not a true truck, a lot of people stay away from them. Not because they know that they're bad, they're actually not a bad vehicle. They just don't know any better. So that means you can get into a great vehicle that is kind of a hidden gem. And that's what the Avalanche is. It's a hidden gem. Is it perfect? No. Is it for everybody? No. So I hope that this video maybe changed your mind about how good or how bad the Chevy Avalanche is, or that you'll at least reconsider your thoughts of what a true truck is, knowing that now most manufacturers are using coil springs on their trucks anyway. So all the things that everyone thought was so bad about the Avalanche aren't so bad anymore in this day. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, do that below. Check out some of the other content we got right over here. We've got a lot of great videos in the back library and a lot of great videos coming up. But until next time, have a great day.